Just half a lap ago with Elliott Sadler leading Jeff Gordon, Ryan Newman, Jimmy Spencer, Sterling Marlin, and Jeremy Mayfield. Further review showed that the secondary collision in that caution, not a rookie mistake by McMurray, but Kenseth trying to get as far away from Jerry Nadeau as possible.
Yeah, I just don't think that Matt thought about anybody being down any lower than he was. Plus, he could see Nadeau out the corner of his eye over there. I think he was trying to pull down and get away from him.
Everybody continues on the lead lap. There's Matt Yoakum.
And Jerry Nadeau told his crew he just didn't know what happened. He says, that's never happened to me. That's the first time. He did say, though, the car was a little loose on entry. 4 tires and a chassis adjustment. To Steve Burns.
Well, Matt Dahlenhart Jr. had fought his way from 16th up to 7th, but his race car early on had gotten very tight from the center off. They took 4 tires, made an air pressure adjustment and a wedge adjustment.
I mean, the thing about a race car here, if it's tight in the beginning, it's only going to get tighter as you burn that fuel off and as you go into a run.
Well, and what happened to Nadeau, he goes in with that left side down on the apron. When that car starts up the racetrack, most of the time you catch it with the throttle. And he probably gassed it a little too quick and the back end jumped out.
Spencer going after.
Oh, here we go. Trouble on the front.
Jack Sprague in the 0 car.
Straighten it up. Keeps it out of harm's way.
Caution is out again.
Man, everybody's running into each other. There's been about 2 or 3 wrecks down this front straightaway.
The leader's going into turn 3. He's trying to get it going here and stay on the lead lap, and he will.
Got these cars all bunched up like this on the start, and they just can't get away from each other. And I tell you, a good handling car will run over a bad handling car here more than any place else.
That's what happened to Tony Stewart last year in that race where he ran over Buckshot Jones.
When your car's handling real good, you're back in the throttle, you're making time. The cat in front of you's having a little bit of trouble. And he lets up out of the gas, and you're going to run into him.
When's the last time you saw 2 cautions in a row and no concrete contact?
Yeah, we had the wall. We talk about the wall, and here comes Nadeau on the outside of Sprague here. Looked like Sprague just was down low, trying to keep, trying to stay in the throttle up off of turn 4, and the thing just come around. The track must be really slick right now.
Well, I tell you another thing, Dale. Remember, it's rained here since 1 o'clock yesterday. Stopped raining finally this morning. This racetrack is what we call green. There's no rubber on it. There's not a lot of grip.
When you come off the corner here and you got down underneath somebody like that and you got a lot of steering input, got the wheels really cut hard left and you're trying to stay in the throttle, the thing just will spin out with you just like that.
So Jack Sprague makes a withdrawal from the luck bank.
Another one.
You make deposits to the concrete. Withdrawals from the luck bank.
Looks like most of our leaders are going to come to pit road now, except for the ones that pitted on the last caution. The only one that stayed out that didn't pit the last caution was Jimmy Spencer in the 7 car. But here comes Elliott Sadler, Jeff Gordon, Ryan Newman, Sterling Marlin, Tony Stewart, all those cars that did not pit the last time.
And see, this is an ideal scenario for the guys that pitted on the first caution, because now they're at the front of the field.
Dick Berggren?
Well, Sterling Marlin and his crew knew that if they didn't pit the first time, that this time around they were going to lose a lot of track position. They decided that was okay. Sterling said the car is a little bit loose. They've adjusted the weight distribution. Steve.
Ryan Newman has gotten extremely tight off of turn 4. They'll change 4 tires, 1 round down on the left rear. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
And Elliott Sadler, the leader, his car was a little loose. Meanwhile, the 24, Jeff Gordon, making a chassis adjustment. His car was loose everywhere, on entry, in the center, and off. As Ray Holmes puts the lumps on the left rear, and the 24 and the 25 is going to beat everybody off.
So it's going a lot of them going out there at one time.
But I'm going to tell you, Darryl, what I'm hearing from most people is they're a little bit loose. You have to be careful not to over-adjust that car, because when this rubber gets back on the racetrack from racing on it, it's going to start tightening up.
The caution, a break for Matt Kenseth and Jamie McMurray, who were both involved in the first caution. They are both back in the pits for further repair.
31 cars making some repairs to the left front of it. This has been a lot of cars banging into each other. Look at the McMurray's car.
Right side of your screen, Jack Sprague.
You're just coming off that corner. Your car really is wanting to push. It's trying to push the nose, but you keep steering into it, and then all of a sudden it bites and the back end will pop out.
From Robbie Gordon's onboard.
Oh, that's where he got damaged. I saw him down here working on his. Now he's got damage.
Yeah, he got Terry Labonte. Terry Labonte got Brett Bodine in that silver CLR car.
It's like going to the fair and riding in bumper cars.
You see right there in third, talk about a roller coaster in the first 14 laps. Jerry Nadeau in the 01 car. Remember, he started this race third, spun out. He was all the way at the rear of the field. He was working his way forward. Now he has stayed out on this caution, so he's back to third.
Ebb and flow.
Boy, Boy, those guys, do they ever need a good run? The first 4 races of the 2003 season, they have finished 22nd or worse. I don't think that's indicative of how they perform, but that's what the results have been.
Jeannie, what did Tony Stewart do on his stop?
Well, it was pretty routine. 4 tires. Tony said, look, the car is a little tight, but it's tight behind these guys, and he's got to believe that when he finally passes several cars, it will be okay. So they didn't make any adjustments, just gave him 4 new tires.
Kind of like Larry said, Mike, right now you got to be careful. You don't want to over-adjust your car. This track will go through a change or two here before too long.
Our aerial coverage from Budweiser, and you see Darlington Raceway. The grandstand outside turn 2 at the upper left. That's the big end of the track. This egg-shaped oval. The small end now turns 3 and 4. For the 7th time in his Winston Cup career, Jimmy Spencer is a leader at Darlington Raceway. Pace car pulling in. He'll bring Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jerry Nadeau, John Andretti, and Jeff Green to the green flag.
Mongo likes this view.
Yeah. You see the pace car dropped him off there, 50 miles an hour is what they bring up to speed. We'll watch the Fox tracks here as he starts climbing for the restart. 1 through 3rd, then the high gear, start-finish line at 100 miles an hour. Got his hands full of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and that 8 car behind him. 140 miles an hour entering turn 1 on the restart. Pick the throttle up real early in the middle of 1 and 2. They'll come off turn 2 onto the backstretch at almost 160 miles an hour.
If we keep up with the speed of these cars, though, the longer they run, the slower they get. They just keep getting slower and slower because they keep losing grip.
Single file at the front among the drivers who did not make pit stops, but look back here where everybody's trying to gain as much ground as they can, Darrell, in just these first few laps while the tires are fresh.
Well, when you got everybody bunched up like that, people are they can't, it's hard to race here. So if somebody gets up out of the groove, everybody goes by you.
Lead change. Dale Jr. brings the fans to their feet.
Has a little fresher tires than Jimmy Spencer, and I think Jimmy made a smart move there. You know, give and take.
Jeff Gordon on the move up after that pit stop, battling side by side with Sadler. That's for 17th position. Matt, why did Jimmy Spencer not pit?
Well, Mike, back in the modifieds, Tommy Ball was known as 2-tire Tommy. Today he said it would be 4-tire Tommy, but why no pit Tommy?
Well, there's only a couple laps really on the tires each chance, and I figured the first 17 cars that pitted the first time wouldn't pit this time. So, I mean, hopefully we get a caution, like 10-15 laps, and it'll be worthwhile. But we'll wait and see.
Hey, Mike, I bet you go back to him in a little while and say he won't do that anymore.
We'll see. Spencer now trying to hold back John Andretti.
Boy, I tell you what, they are racing hard.
Now, in just a moment, President Bush, along with the prime ministers of England and Spain, will be addressing the nation, and you'll be able to see the president's address over on Fox News Channel. Here on the Fox Network, race coverage will continue.
Well, Jimmy Spencer, he's losing about a position a lap right now. Mark Martin in the 6th car, who started back in 27th. This is a battle for 4th with Mark and Jimmy.
I know it shows a lot of confidence in your car and your driver when you'll stay out on a caution like that. But, Larry, you know just like I do, you've got to put 4 tires on, particularly early in the race like this, where the track is so green and you need all the grip you can get.
And the longer they go, the worse it's going to get.
Tony Stewart right behind Sterling Marlin, Jimmy Johnson. You're watching from Johnson's onboard, and they have sliced their way through traffic in a hurry.
And they're taking no prisoners, Mike. I was watching them, and when they catch them, they pass them. And if you don't get out of their way, it might be woe unto you.
Brett Bodine, not in his own car, being passed. Sterling Marlin making the try on the bottom of the racetrack. The reason is Bodine's running only a partial schedule in his own number 11 to fill the field. And this car came.
Mike, see how that bottled everything up? He couldn't get off that corner. The guy on the inside couldn't make the pass because you got to be able to slide out, and it bottled up everybody behind him. That's what causes wrecks here.
But Darrell,